Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our short film. We are Group 5 with 3 members short, Rio and Larry. Our film is about an extremely famous businessman, whose name may have strong attachment to many people's childhood. However, we would hide his name until the end to keep the attractiveness and surprising factor of the story. His life is full of gall, passion, and countless failure. But thanks to his optimistic spirit and remarkable resilience, he overcame all of the obstacles in his life to eventually gain resounding success. So, on the 5th of December 1901, at Chicago of the United States of America, a boy was born in a family with many siblings. He was the 4th son. In 1906, when he was 4, the family moved to a farm in Marceline, Missouri, where his uncle Robert had just purchased land. He lived most of his childhood in here, a beautiful landscape with a big farm that had a lot of animals. He developed an interest in art since he was young. He began drawing, painting, and selling pictures to neighbors and family friends. For example, these chicken on the farm. And this is Roy, a beloved brother and a dear friend of his. They are very close, always playing together but different passions. This is his dad, a pretty terrible father. He was addicted to alcohol, so he was always scolding and beating his mother and him for no reason. For the career, Roy went studying abroad. This matter made him feel very lonely, especially living with his father, because Roy is the one who always stopped his father madness. His family's financial condition was getting worse and worse. They think that they could not support the whole family by farming and earning money. Therefore, they started to think about a different way to earn. In 1911, his dad and mom decided to sell their assets in the countryside and move to a city called Kansas. He began to develop a love for trains. His uncle, Mike Martin, was a train engineer who worked the route between Fort Madison, Iowa, and Marceline. Later, he would work a summer job with the railroad, selling snacks and newspapers to travelers. His mother allowed him to take part in a drawing class. Here, he took drawing and photography classes and was a contributing cartoonist for the school paper. His first work got the highest score in his class. Then, shortly, he received proper recognition in front of everybody, including his brilliant teacher. They were admired to his masterpiece. When he was 16, he dropped out of school to join the army but was rejected for being underage. Instead, he joined the Red Cross and was sent to France for a year to drive an ambulance. When he returned from France in 1919, he applied for a job attaching his pictures and got frankly rejected. They said that he hadn't got enough talents to be able to do the job. And that was his first failure. 1920 was a remarkable year to him. His brother Roy got him a job at the Pesmin Rubin Art Studio, which was an advertising company. This was the very first development in his career. He met cartoonist Ub Works, better known as Ub Works, which became his close friend at the company. They knew each other well and share a common interest in art. Unfortunately, he made a mistake and ruined a picture. He received a lot of severe criticisms which caused him lots of trouble. He and Ub were fired since they were in the same group. But this incident could not break the ties of friendship. They cooperated to set up their own project. They grew their interest in filming equipment and started making the film. Around this time, he began experimenting with the camera, doing hand-drawn cell animation, and decided to open his own animation business. In 1922, Walt and Harmon made a deal with a local Kansas City theater to screen their cartoons, which they called Laugh-O-Grams. The cartoons were hugely popular, and Disney was able to acquire his own studio, upon which he bestowed the same name. Him and his brother Roy soon started thinking of the money and moving to Hollywood. This was the Disney Brothers studio. His maturity and thoughtful mind helped him get to the leading position. The first deal was with New York distributor Margaret Winkler to distribute their Alice cartoons. which was a big success and made a name for themselves. In 1925, he hired an ink and paint artist named Lillian Bounds. After a brief courtship, the couple married. It was the most memorable year in his whole life. In 1932, one of the most popular cartoons, Flowers and Trees, was the first to be produced in color that won the most notable award for any filmmaker's Oscar. The following film, in 1933, Three Little Pigs and its title song, Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf, earned even more reputation for them. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, 1937, was another famous film of theirs. The first full-length animated film premiered in Los Angeles. It produced an unimaginable $1.499 million in spite of the Depression and won a total of 8 Oscars. And then by 1950, he was once again focusing on animated features. Cinderella was released in 1950. One of the most well-known film. On July 17, 1955, in Anaheim, California, the legendary Disneyland was put in. The site became known as the place where children and the families could explore, enjoy